It is well known that a bad relationship with your parent or caregiver can negatively affect brain development for infants and cause anxiety and even depression in their child if it continues into adulthood. Hello, my name is Amber Kono, and today I will be talking about the harmful effects of hurtful communication between parents and children. By the end of this presentation, I hope you will have a better understanding of how these hurtful communications can be looked at and resolved so we can redirect and change our relationships with our parents into healthier ones. I will be introducing you to an interesting article on this subject and talk about my own thoughts and findings of this article and hope to apply the study to my own life and start to improve my relationship with my dad. The article I've chosen is Relational Communication and Understanding in Conversations About Hurtful Events Between Parents and Adolescents by Rachel M. McLaren and Joshua R. Peterson. There are two vocabulary words in the study that I'd like to highlight now so we can better understand the article together later. First of which is RFT, which is Relational Framing Theory, where people interpret the relational meaning of messages as relevant to either dominant submissiveness, the degree of influence between communicators, and so on. The second being EA, or empathic accuracy, to measure understanding of another person's thoughts and feelings. My topic covers hurtful communication, which is a complicated concept because senders and receivers can disagree about the intentions, motivations, and even the appropriateness of a message. Was the message accidental or on purpose? What is the nature of the relationship between sender and receiver, and how will that affect the impact? Managing our reactions to hurtful communication can mean the difference between severing and saving a relationship. The first hypothesis in the study is how the severity of hurt affects family members' understanding when discussing a hurtful event. The second being to examine how the inherent ambiguity of communication affects understanding. In my findings, as expected, the severity of the hurtful incident corresponded with the understanding. The intensity of hurt for parents and relational damage for adolescents were negatively associated with perceived understanding. Furthermore, evidence was found that discrepancies in perceptions of parents and children disaffiliation were inversely associated with perceived understanding, but only when discussing the child's hurtful event. On the other hand, there was only minimal evidence that discrepancy in perceptions of dominance corresponded with perceived understanding. And furthermore, none of our variables were significantly associated with EA. I chose to base my study off my relationship with my dad because some of my experiences and interactions were traumatic and have negatively impacted the way I receive and view communication with him. For example, my dad could ask, "Why are you so behind on your studies? Are you just being lazy?" And my initial reaction would be to react with hurt and anger. But this article has shown me that hurtful communication is complicated and will take the willingness of my dad and I to participate, time, and a keen listening ear to be aware of when I am reacting when I'm hurt, and examine the way I perceive the conversation from that point on. We are both quick to feel and slow to understand the why. The biggest key is perception and how we can change it so we can both get what we want out of our relationship. So now when I hear, "Why are you so behind on your studies? Are you lazy?" I instead hear the concern for not only my studies but of my own well-being, and am better prepared to answer his true concerns. In conclusion, once we have the knowledge to perceive and address hurtful communication in our arsenal, we can change the course of some of our most difficult interpersonal relationships that we struggle with. I hope my insight into this article and sharing my personal experience with it will help anyone struggling with similar issues. Some of our most difficult relationships stem from simple communication issues like it being too hurtful or too confusing. But how much more can we gain for ourselves and others if we put more effort into understanding what we say and the things that we do? Thank you.